Ladies and gentlemen, agents and assassins, welcome back to Crossover Combat, where we make chaos happen and have been hunted by Interpol, the FBI, and plenty of other agencies.
And tonight we're dialing up the chaos. It's espionage versus elegance. Tech versus tactlessness. The queen of tactical takedowns, Kim Possible.
Versus the man who could dodge a bullet, but not accountability, Sterling Archer. One's got a grappling hook in her purse, and a black belt in every martial art known to man.
And the other's probably got a drink in one hand, and an enemy dossier that he probably forgot to read in the other. In this, Crossover Combat.
Sterling Mallory Archer, born in a bar in Tangiers, Morocco, raised by a narcissist, trained by trauma. This guy's been dodging bullets since birth, and somehow turned it into a lifestyle. Expert marksman and lifelong victim of mommy issues so bad, Freud himself would have tapped out.
Yeah, this guy was literally raised in a luxury of lies by Mallory Archer, his mom. Lied to him about who his father was, swapped schools, trained in the military, mastered the art of Krav Maga, all to get him to work for her in her spy agency.
And he's been working for her ever since. Imagine your mom sending you on kill missions and then yelling at you for not calling her back. This guy was practically engineered by his mom. She forged his spy career from birth, grooming him into a weapon, then making him work for his entire adult life. That's not childhood trauma. That's corporate onboarding.
And yet, despite it all, that manipulation made Archer become one of the most dangerous spies alive. Not because he listens, but because he doesn't. You drop Archer in any situation, he adapts. Race in Paris, fight down a Cuban hit squad, shrunk down to a molecule and fight down blood cells, Archer has done things that most agents haven't. He also seems to have the Dr. Doolittle gift? Why not? All with a gun or a martini shaker, Archer can make a weapon out of anything he gets his hands on.
And we've seen it in jungle ops, infiltrating enemy bases, and even in space. This guy can use guns, blades, gadgets, night vision goggles, scuba rigs, and once fought off mercs with a hand fan.
Let's talk aim, because Archer doesn't just spray and pray, he's a frickin' sniper with even just a pistol.
And not just any pistol. His go-to sidearm, the Walther PPK, James Bond's baby. Compact, slick, .32 ACP, and Archer makes it sing.
Based on the distance, Archer was able to take down the driver of this moving car from just like 90 feet away. That's 27 meters with no scope in one hand, fully calm.
Let's talk pain. Archer's been shot more times than most Call of Duty characters. Survived a crocodile attack, coma, multiple car crashes, and had cancer, and beat it. Archer's also developed chronic tinnitus, constant ringing in his ears from all the years of gunfights and close-up bangs. It's hard to aim perfectly when your skull's singing backup vocals.
He's been frozen, drowned, stabbed, beaten, exploded, sedated, and hit by an angry Pam. You could toss this man off a building and he'd land on his ego.
And that ego? It's bulletproof.
Archer's fought some ridiculous enemies. The KGB, the Yakuza, pirates, space pirates. Basically anybody who hates him. And trust us, a lot of people hate Archer.
Archer can take punishment like it's part of his daily workout. He's taken gunshots, broken ribs, survived prison, and most women's rage.
Possibly because he's an alcoholic and rarely sober. So Archer's pain tolerance is sky high, but it's not infinite. He doesn't feel pain like a normal person, but the damage still adds up.
Now don't get it twisted. Archer is not superhuman. The man thinks torture resistance is just a matter of holding your breath.
Remember that time he volunteered to be waterboarded, claiming it was just a splash of water? Classic Archer bravado.
Yeah, and moments later, he's gasping. That was worse than drowning, and he actually drowned before.
Then there's the time where he thought he could withstand Arctic temperatures. Then his muscles started to fail after 30 seconds.
His overconfidence in his superpower and his kryptonite. He dives headfirst into danger, convinced he's invincible, only to realize, too late, that he's not.
But hey, at least he's having fun doing whatever he can out there.
And when push comes to shove...
Phrasing, boom.
When he feels like it and gets his head around it, he'll complete his mission.
Most likely after a drink or two.
In the opposite corner, she's a high school student by day, global hero by night, and the only person alive who can fight crime and still make it to cheer practice, Kim Possible.
She's the original boss girl most millennials dream of. Kim's been flipping over death lasers, disabling robots, and rocking cargo pants like it's her mission. She tried starting her own babysitting and other service business, but because someone couldn't type with their toes, a little typo asked, "Hey, can you disarm this death ray security system?" And instead of saying wrong number, she took up the job and she's been on missions ever since. Kim was raised by high-performing parents, a rocket scientist dad and a brain surgeon mom, so saving people is basically family tradition.
She wasn't bitten by a radioactive bug. She didn't get government injections. She just trained her butt off and said, "Yeah, I can do that," and then did it better than everyone else.
And don't forget the swag. Kim doesn't just save the world, she does it with style with a gadget loadout that would make Batman's jaw drop.
Communicator. Basically a 2000 smartwatch with GPS, hacking, FaceTime, and emergency ROM summoning.
Laser lipstick that can slice steel, rocket rollerblades,
Grappling hook, hairdryer. Lip gloss with chloroform vapor. And a backpack jetpack. Try saying that 10 times fast. Kim Possible doesn't roll solo. She's got Ron Stoppable, her ride or die since pre-K. And Wade, the 10-year-old tech genius who never leaves his room.
Ron's the clumsy best friend turned accidental hero. Sure, he screams a lot, but he's got heart. And a naked mole rat named Rufus that bites harder than half her enemies.
Then there's Wade, the guy behind the screen. A handheld device that can text, video call, hack, scan, translate, and GPS track villains in real time.
It's like if Apple made a crime-fighting AI with zero bugs and way more likability. Wade's always one beep away with a plan, the gear, and an instant uplink satellite.
Together, this trio's unstoppable. Kim's the brawler, Ron's the wild card, and Wade's the brain behind the mission.
Add Rufus, and you've got a world-saving squad powered by friendship, gadgets, and a surprising amount of Disney energy crossover way before the mouse got greedy. Kim isn't just all talk. This girl's dodged lasers, flipped off collapsing buildings, and kicked supervillains through the walls like it's Tuesdays. Her judging laser beams gives her a reaction time over 60% the speed of light. And there's the time she outran a stampede of rhinos. That would make her and Ron running at 30 miles per hour.
Not dodged, not sidestepped. She booked at full speed in front of dozens of charging rhinos and didn't get flattened. And don't forget raw strength. She pushed multi-ton steel doors with her legs, tossed grown villains across rooms.
But she's not perfect. Kim's got an ego, and when she thinks she's the smartest person in the room, she skips cautions and walks straight into traps.
Now don't get us wrong. Kim's a beast, but even the best of the best have weak spots. She'll rush into fights thinking she's got it handled, and bam, caught in a laser net or villain monologue trap. She's been captured a lot, like enough to need a frequent flyer punch card.
She's basically an action version movie of Daphne Blake. First off, that ego. She knows she's the best, and sometimes she acts like she can't lose. That confidence, it gets cocky real quick. And while Kim's great under pressure most times, she's terrible with feelings.
Let's be honest. If the mission involves talking about feelings,
Ron, family, social drama, she'll short circuit like a robot drinking soda. But hey, she always bounces back. She's stubborn like that. Flawed, emotional, sometimes reckless, but she never goes down for long.
the teenager facing whatever mission she gets, and all before first period.
Yeah, well, everyone hates crossovers, because it causes problems between two groups of people. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a delivery to make for a strange blue man and a green girl, who might, or is most likely sending me mixed signal. Ma.
Thanks for the wake-up call, Wade. I just got a ride. I'll call you back. Whoa!
You're not leaving in my car.
Neither are you.
Ah! Now I've got my gun back, you stupid idiot.
Not an expert, but I'm 98% sure it works with these.
Fun's over, mini Black Widow. Oh, come on, nothing.
I prefer to think of myself as a butterfly.
Oh, yeah! black turtleneck.
I haven't worn black in a while.
Oh, shit!
Wade, I need a ride to the hospital. Can you find my location? Hope I don't need to take cheerleading for a while.
Cheerleading? Oh shit, I had something for this.
How are you still standing? Barely.
I am very drunk. Oh, what? You want a final kiss goodbye?
No, just goodbye. That guy had a lot of problems.
Yo, he actually did have brains.
Too bad he never used it.
So much for the self-titled world's greatest spy.
Self-titled because no one else ever called him that.
Archer had the durability to keep this fight going, but he can't be overtaxed when facing someone on par or above with his skills.
Kim was going to overwhelm Archer with acrobatics and her 16 styles of kung fu. That alone keeps him on his toes. At 30 miles per hour sprint speed and light speed reflexes, Archer never showed that kind of footwork.
Archer wasn't completely outmatched. His sharpshooting and guns help him win 35 to 40 out of 100 fight simulations. But Kim's agility, instinct, and gadgets kept her alive. And there's no reason to think that Kim wouldn't be able to handle firearms in her world.
And let's be real. The biggest deciding factor, Archer, well, he's an idiot.
Now, don't get it twisted. Archer has had moments of brilliance, but his ego and lack of judgment are what got him shot, stabbed, betrayed, and slipped into his coma. He'd never see Kim's disguised gear coming.
All those years took their toll, and we can prove it. Final season x-rays showed how badly his body was falling apart. And even after losing his mom, Archer doubled down on all the worst parts of himself.
And there's no reason to think that Archer is any more stronger than a normal man. While recalling back to when Kim pushed this steel beam, comparing her size and assuming that this device is made out of steel, she was able to push 5 tons of steel with just her core strength. Archer never showed that kind of strength. Meanwhile, Kim grew faster, stronger, smarter, and more adaptable. That's what earned her this win.
Call her, beep her if you want to reach her, because there ain't no Archer. Winner, Kim Possible.
How'd you like it?